Hello.
That sounds like my alarm clock trying to wake me up in the morning. That's really kind of peacefully melodic. Do not mean to jar you into existence.
Right.
Yeah. That's I like the other music much better. I like the commercial music we had for a bit there.
Oh, for the conference. Yeah.
For the conference. That was pretty good. And then now we got dinky, 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 dinky.
There you go. I do like that. I need to get an edit of it without the CFP stuff. However, we have the CFP. It's closed now for Europe, but we have Flutter Europe in a few months. So those that are interested, it's that same halls that you just saw there in that video. We had we got 1,000 people turning up. So.
I keep thinking, I've been to one of these.
And then for the Droidcon side, there's another like 3,000. So it's huge.
Yeah. I keep thinking now that I've been to one of the FlutterCons, I should be showing up in that video, but that's not the way video works.
Actually, I just found myself in that video. I didn't realize I was in that video. There's like 1 second where I'm on the screen.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Right, let's do some introductions and we get on with the show.
Sure.
Let's find the buttons. Do I have the buttons? Yeah, there we go. My name's Simon Lightfoot, Flutter Community Leader, CTO at Dev Angels London, and you can follow me on Twitter at Dev Angels London and other social media places. Randall.
I'm Randall Schwartz. I am a Dart and Flutter Google developer expert since the beginning of the program about 7 years ago now. And I also operate as the question magician for this show, which means I am watching the chat, looking for you to put Q: in front of your question, and then I'll flag it for us to answer. If you don't put Q in front of it, I might skip over it because I think it's just you talking amongst yourselves, which does happen from time to time. I spend most of my day helping people online, answering questions, and all the socials and stuff. Maybe a little less coming up soon for a little while for good reasons. But that's what I do. I'm a full-time Flutter developer. Yay.
Danielle should be here. I'm not sure why she can't make it, but if she doesn't up, that's Danielle's information right there. And John.
Yeah, I think Danielle actually had messaged us that she had a release go south. Yeah, so she's busy trying to fix a release, but yeah. So John Weezy, I run the Flutter community Medium, and I spend most of my day working for a small company building an AI product, and then evenings and weekends doing Flutter stuff on my own and hanging out in Discord and other places like Randall answering questions for folks.
Mm-hmm.
Randall, do you want to do the do's and don'ts?
Oh, sure. Why not? We can't wait for Scott to do it. It'll take a long time. All right. So be nice, be respectful, be constructive. You are talking to actual human beings through the chat. These aren't just a bunch of bots, although I'm not sure if I'm a bot or not yet. Maybe a really good one, maybe. Don't post anything if it's adult or rude or offensive. Don't advertise or promote anything. The only people allowed to promote things are people with their face on the screen, like us. We can promote all we want because we're producing the show. Do not spam. Do not post the same thing again and again in the chat because we will ignore that. Worse, if you post a question, then you post the same question 20 minutes later, you lose 20 minutes of your place in line because I'll cut you off for the first one and add you back for the second one. So don't do that. Harassment of any kind, not tolerated. We do have ban hammers. We do use them, but do have a good time. We're having a good time here, sharing our information with you, the stuff that we know. And so have a good time. That's a great rule in general. If you can just follow that rule in general.
Great rule.
We recommend it highly.
We also have some little instructions here. If you do want to share some code with us, so we can do like code reviews, or you've got a problem with some specific code, you want to go to gist.new, and that'll take you to GitHub's gist page. Enter your description, whatever you need. Pop your code in there. Make sure the file name's named .dart, so we get the syntax highlighting. And then we won't. Any URL that's posted in the chat, we don't see the whole message. The whole message doesn't come through. So it's just blocked as spam. So what you need to do is copy the hash from the URL as highlighted in point 6, pop that in the chat, and then we can go look it up based on that.
And we've already got one person who's done that. So
many people. You got 2. Oh, one doing
one
that.
Today. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how is everyone doing?
Good. You recovered from New York yet?
Yes, yeah. It was so hot that first day.
Yeah. Gosh, yes. And it's going to be that hot here in Portland today. So,
oh wow,
we're really
AC?
Looking forward to that. I don't have AC, but I'm in a basement, so I don't really have much of an effect. But going out to my car, I'm not going to look forward to that. I'm going to make sure going to my car has AC, so I'm going to turn that on really high real quick. It's really nice how AC happens immediately in a car where the heater takes a long time to kick in. Yeah. So it's always a little weird. It's much nicer in the summer because you can instantly get the inside of your car to comfortable temperature, unlike in the winter when comfortable might not be around for about 20 or 30 minutes. So big difference.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Cool. So other than that, I'm running on a little less sleep than I would like, as usual. I was out late last night again. Not too late, but just late enough. Yeah.
Free.
Now that we know how to pronounce your name.
We've been saying Frey. When we spoke to it, we still get it wrong.
Yeah.
It's cool. Free.
Yeah.
I've forgotten now.
Free. It's free.
It's free. Everything's free. Only today.
Free. Yeah.
Yes.
Probably had that joke so many times.
Many times, I'm sure.
Well, he probably makes free software.
Maybe.
Ooh, no, dad jokes already. Yes. Here we go. And
I was hanging out too.
I want to address the people that are talking to me here, which is Kiro. Did I recommend Kiro? I don't think I'm recommending Kiro.
I don't know.
If it's AI, you've recommended it. Let's be honest.
Probably, yeah. No, my primary tools right now are Gemini CLI, which I found to be a great combination of already built-in tools and tooling to be able to move files and stuff around. What am I hearing there?
I'm just going to mute you there, John, for a second, because there's someone doing gardening, I think.
Something's outside. Nope, now you can't hear you. Right.
Wow, it's picking that up, huh? They're like all the way across the street in somebody else's yard.
You got a great mic.
Yeah. Down slightly, he probably won't pick it up. But
So my current stack is the Gemini CLI being used inside a terminal window inside VS Code, but I fall back to sometimes also using Rue code. I do have Kilo installed. Maybe that's what you're saying for Kiro, because I think somebody talked about Kilo a little bit ago. But yeah, that and I'm experimenting. I mean, as each new thing comes out, of course, I play with it. I watch like probably 4 or 5 videos on AI every day at least from new products that are coming out, all trying to address this very same space. So we'll figure it out eventually. Be sure you watch the Monday show on this channel to see more things about all that. So it's enough of that.
Yeah, so we do. There's a Flutter Community AI Circle video streams that come out every Monday on the same YouTube channel. So feel free to subscribe. Go do that. Go do the whole thing. You need to like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. And you'll be able to get notifications when those get posted.
Well, that is
maybe
really
mute your mic on when you're not talking, just for now.
Yeah, I'm trying to adjust the. It's one of the the fancy Blue Yetis, the where it's pulling the signal from, so it's only pulling from the front kind of thing, and see if that helps.
This should be the cardioid pattern. Would be nice.
I can turn your mic volume down from here. Apparently, see if that helps. So okay, we got some questions coming through. As we said, get your questions in with the queue in front. If you don't have any fill up the first hour, then we'll go straight into live coding and we'll do some fun stuff, I guess.
Great. So should we start with questions? We have questions already.
Sure.
Let's try this one. Okay, I already answered this. Actually, we just answered it in chat. How likely are you to be inclined to live code the Material 3 layout guidelines from scratch with declarative routing in mind? I'd be very uninclined to do that. That's the right answer for that.
Layout guidelines. I haven't even seen the Material 3 layout guidelines.
Or very unlikely, maybe it would also work as an answer to that. Yeah. I don't get the point of this question, so I'm not sure what's going on there.
Feel free, Philip, to come back with a bit more information, and then we go.
Yes.
I'm just going to try and find this code someone pulled before we get to that one. But feel free to carry on with the next one.
Mm-hmm.
The one with the code.
Well, that's the one he's trying to find. Yeah, he's pulling the code up.
Oh, okay. So should I take that question? Is this the question I want to take?
Take the next one for now.
Oh, okay. I want to translate a client app from English responses to Indic languages. Yeah, translations take work, and there are processes for that. That's probably more than we can teach in a chat line or two. But do you have a specific concern that we're not addressing? That'd be interesting. I mean, translation. If you need it, you need it. Go do it.
Yep. Yeah, maybe more specific question would be best.
Yeah, that would be helpful. All right. Should we back up to the question with the code yet? There.
Oh yeah.
Coming.
Not
yet.
Next.
I'll do the next question then. I'll do it. General about database and device. When SQL versus no SQL? What's the difference in Hive and ISAR? Well, SQL versus no SQL is really dependent on the tasks at hand. There are some problems that document store is just fine if you're just basically having chunks of data.
Think of it more like an object store, right?
Yeah.
I say document. You say document store. I mean, it's that if you're trying to store data, record it based on its ID or one field of its relationship. Fine, that's NoSQL. Yep. We start trying to do like relational stuff when you've got lots of stuff glued together and you're trying to only take certain fields out of certain models and stuff like that, then that becomes a relational problem, right? For the most part, on device, I've hardly ever needed that. Like if you're trying to do something that is literally about a data set, then you probably are going to use SQL. Otherwise, no SQL all the way.
Yep.
I mean, the fact of the matter is, like, a lot of the stuff you're going to be doing on device is pretty small in nature compared to anything server side. You're not doing millions of data. I mean, obviously, if you've got millions of entries, then Well, depends on the task, depends on the database, right? But you're not dealing with like huge amounts of data on a mobile app, in which case, NoSQL and everything else is just fine. I mean, I tell you what, I've done with a lot of apps that don't even use anything like this. Just JSON file, load into memory.
Or a Dart asset would also do
as well. There's a format called JSON-L, which is sadly not used enough, which is basically just it's a text file. The idea is a text file, and each line of the text file is a JSON object, so it's unformatted, right? Which is really nice because then you can also index that as well. Then we tried this in a stream, live coding, not too long ago. But the idea being that you can then say you can then have another file which your index, which says each line index number or character offset in the file. You can then say what the data is. So there's nice little ways that you can do your own database if you want to. Obviously, if you're just whacking something together, pick ISAR, pick Hive, pick one of them. I did speak to Simon. It's chose his last name, Chow. Now I think it's Chow. About his ISAR package after last week's one, and we're going to plan on migrating to the community and releasing an updated version with update dependencies. So that is happening.
Cool. Flutter community rescues another package. Yay. There's a follow-up to the previous question, so let's do that. So wanted to translate an app from English to Indic. Felt like the ML-Kit library from Google was a good choice. For on-device, low latency translations in some languages are not supported.
I mean,
I don't get the
translate a client app.
Yeah, I don't know that I want to do
what are you trying to do
for an app? Yeah.
Okay. I think you need to explain what you're trying to do, because the whole idea of the ML-Kit stuff is not about translating your app's UI or anything like that. The thing that's meant for is like translate user input, right? Things that are dynamic in nature whilst your app is being used, right? The idea is that you pre-translate using whatever translation service you want, or manual people, translate your language, whatever text you're using in your app, and then that gets shipped inside your app. That's one way to do it. You can also have it download updates over the wire. There's several localized. There's a few different packages out there that have Flutter SDKs that you can just dump into your app, and they even capture screenshots, and you can just click on the text and put it in different languages, and then it will just ship it down to your app. It's pretty straightforward. But you want to be using a service like that if you want to make your life easier. They also using those services. There's a nice little thing you can do with those. You use them as a one-off, so you can pay for it for a period of time. They have people that convert the languages, and they have people that convert the. Hang on, we'll get to that in a second. But they have people that convert the languages, actual real people from those locations. They'll convert it for you, give you the answer, and once you've got all your text answered, save it. You can then close your membership if you want to continue it. Right, like you've got that data saved as part of your app then. So if I get a text response from an API, I want to translate that in real time. No. I mean, what API? I was going to say, if it's your API, do it on the server side. Do it with like an actual translation API on the server side. I would not be doing anything like that in terms of real time on device.
Yeah.
What you're going to get, you're not going to get like any good. The data set's not large enough you can run on a real device, right? So any translation on device is going to be limited. I mean, you can. You are, so fine. But check. Google Translate has an API you can call on your server side. Another thing, if you're calling another API, what you can actually do is have your own API call that API, do the translation, and ship the translated stuff down to the app, right? Yeah. But normally, what you do in these situations, even with your own APIs, is you pass back and accept languages.
Language, I think.
And by specifying that in your request to the server, you then get the response. The idea is that the server then knows what language the user's in and will respond with that right language. The idea is your error messages will be in the right language. Everything will be in the right language to display to the user. So again, it's about how you design your API, right?
So I guess the answer is going to go check server-side stuff. Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. You think you're calling API? Is it your API or is it like a third-party API? Right, that does make a difference in this situation.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So we go back to the code one.
There's a follow-up from Philip.
Oh, we'll have follow-up. We'll do the follow-up. Sure.
Which one are you talking about for follow-up there?
Philippe,
this one here.
Yeah.
That's a follow-up. Oh, it is follow-up. Okay, right.
Yeah.
If I recall well, someone had commented adaptive scaffold package API, which is based on Material 3 light guns.
Oh, is this the Material 3 question? Adaptive scaffold.
I don't remember that.
I think I was talking about it. I played with adaptive scaffold, and it's sort of been abandoned basically now, though. It's being put up for community adoption. Yeah. So it's basically at the pound waiting to be adopted.
Yeah.
So as packages often end up at, so it's kind of a sad way that they go. Yep. All right. Is it now the code one? Want to do the code one now?
Yeah. Have a read of it, and then I'll get this set up.
I'd like to apply a transform to my whole app. I'm not sure why you're doing that, but okay. But haven't found a way to apply it to all overlays. So things like reorderable list have the wrong position and size. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, all right, we can try. We can definitely try it. I mean,
see what's running.
Let's
assuming we have a working.
Yeah, he sent some code. I can try and spin it up, shall I? See what happens. Mm-hmm. And then keep the questions coming, everyone. Keep the questions coming.
Yep, I'm watching for him.
We are happy to talk about anything related to development. Really, we have some experts, seasoned experts on the call today. So.
Where do we?
Do we? Yeah, where are they? Who are they?
We were talking AI before. One of these shows, I'm just waiting for to find out that Randall wasn't actually here the entire show. That it was like an AI video.
I can confirm
answering questions.
I can confirm Randall was a real person. I have met him in real life now.
Oh no, I have.
It might be my stunt double though. I think I told you at one point it was my stunt double.
No, I'm just waiting for him to do the whole video of himself, AI.
Oh, he's like a virtual head and a voice and everything. And
and he just doesn't show
Max
up.
Headroom.
And we think he's here, and he's answering questions, and
sounds like he starts glitching out and repeating the same thing.
That's the way it's going to be. Yes.
River Pod.
Yes.
River Pod.
Rivet.
Right.
Rivet pod.
All right.
Rivet. All right. Yes. Oh, and the other guy did say yes. Our APIs.
It's their own APIs. So yes, that would be the route to take. Is have your APIs do the translation server side.
But back to the question at hand here, which is the
trying to get this set up here so we can do some codes. Should we do that? There's another question here actually.
Is there?
Yeah, a little one. You want me to do the little one while you're trying to get that
Sky
working?
Engine, yeah.
It's Flutter. It is Flutter.
Yeah. So Sky was the name for Flutter before it was called Flutter. Yep. So Sky Engine is Flutter Engine. It just, for the purposes of legacies, never changed its name in the system because it's an internal detail, right? So.
Yep.
There you go.
It doesn't show up anywhere. Yeah.
To be clear, none of us here work for Google. Just we never really repeat that, but we are just community members and we've been using Flutter and Dart for a very long time.
We may not work for Google, but that doesn't mean we work against Google.
Yeah.
We just don't get paid from Google. That's the key thing. Right. We're not employees. Or contractors even in any shape or form. Even though people confuse that when I talk about me being a Google developer expert, they don't realize it's a volunteer program where we credentials in exchange for our sharing of knowledge. So it's basically the entire trade. That and they send us to conferences occasionally, so it's kind of fun. Let's see the builder.
Let's see
about.
App.builder. I don't know what that's about.
I think they're talking about where to put the transform widget when I was trying to help answer.
Yeah. Well, we'll look at that as well now. So
Okay,
hopefully.
We're looking at that now, or we don't have any more questions, so that's pretty much it.
We've got no more questions. We'll just go to some live coding, and then we'll still accept questions on the way. At least for the next.
Just keep sending them in. I'll keep flagging them.
So there's loads of time, and then we can go into some fun coding and stuff. I can find out how much shit they've changed everything. They've changed it on me. Right. Let's see.
I can answer this question from Rafael here. Wouldn't it be just faster to implement a feature instead of trying all those tools? The boring parts are easier with AI. The tricky parts are still between my ears, doing real thinking. So it still takes being clever and smart from time to time, but the boring parts all just whoosh away, which is where we get the 10x productivity.
Did you guys see this quote? I think it was a tweet that I'll actually post this up. There was a tweet around a research company that measured the impact of AI on experienced open source developers' productivity.
Oh, wow.
And apparently, developers thought they were 20% faster, but in fact, 19% slower.
Oh. Oh. That can't be. It's been going faster for me.
I will post the I'll bring up a stream here briefly, and then we'll crack on. But make it really big. Why not? The link is in the chat for anyone that's interested. This is it here. Yes, the measuring the impact. It's just come out. There's some overall findings, but they actually worked out what the observed result was compared to what they thought their result was.
Yeah, I'm one of those green bubbles up there. That's me up there.
Yeah. And then they took details. 16 experienced developers from large open source repositories, averaging 22 plus case stars and 1 million lines of code. So these are really experienced developers, right? And things that they did and the core results. But yeah, here you go. So developers expected AI to speed them up by about 24%. Even after experiencing the slowdown, they still believe they had sped them up by 20%. But they actually took 90% longer to complete issues. So yeah, you can read through the technical details of that if you're interested, inclined. But it's an interesting one. Not trying to dub on AI. I think there's practical writing tests in AI. I'm just yes, all over that, right? But there's certain tasks where I find myself fighting the AI more than actually trying to get it to do what I want. If you already know what you want to do it. Don't rely on AI. That's the key point here, right? If you already know what you're trying to do, there's no need to just saying silly. Right. Right, here we are. So we got some code. It's running. This is the code that was submitted by, I've forgotten your name, sorry. And I had it over here somewhere. Austin? Say it, Austin. Right. What we got going on here? So we have a reloadable list view. And what are we trying to do here? You're scaling. What was it? That was it. What was the question? Do you remember? It was changing the zoom level.
Transfer. It's trying to apply a transform
to everything,
right?
To everything, to the whole app. Yeah.
But I have found a way to apply to all overlays. It was because you're applying it inside of the body of the scaffold. I mean, you need to. If you're trying to do it to overlays, well, the overlay is above. The overlay is built by Material App, right? So your zoom level has to be above Material App, or what you can do is have you can also put a overlay widget in yourself or an overlay entry for the rest of your app, and then when it looks up the tree for the overlay entry, it will find it. It's not guaranteed though, because some things may look for the root overlay. There's some other fun things. So if you're trying to do that, then I would probably put it at the top. But also, why? So this is not the correct way of really doing this. What are you trying? I think I'd say what you're trying to achieve, right? So there is actually a thing. So the correct way I would be, well, let's change this, right? Let's show how you'd fix this problem. So the thing is that this is applying just to the content, not to this top bar. So if you want to apply to everything, including the overlays, then you're applying it to everything, right? I mean, you can apply it. The other way is to have like a system where each of your, like, you could create your own route builder and have each route that you use have a transform at the top. It just seems like quite impractical. Also, I'm kind of interested about this is applying a scale to the render only. Which is interesting on the results that was in here, but that would make sense. That's why you have to put the center in. So let's just solve this by just setting up something simple here. We'll have a class app state. Sure, that's going to have our zoom level in. And in fact,
I agree. Hold on, we'll bring this up.
What's this? Yeah, well, the thing is, yeah, you say that. This is what I was thinking, right? So you can change. So font size is not what you want to change. There's a font scale factor that you can change.
Yeah.
However, I will say that let me do this first, and then right. Let's just do this, and do. AI to the rescue. Look at that.
You just lost 20% of time.
I know, right? How dare
it? Yeah. Sometimes we are the 20%.
Right. My app dot.
We're the 20% abstraction team over here.
All right. So, and then down here, instead of doing set state, you're now just doing app state dot. There you go. And then actually we can clamp it. There you go.
Clamp it.
Hills.
Ooh, what's going on here? See, look, it's already. It's not static. Dolt. There we go. And the same thing down here.
Native content.
Oh, it didn't plus. Oh no.
What?
God, this is what I'm saying. Like, why is getting my way now? It's like it's done this whole clamping thing, but it's not what I want.
That's why I don't turn on auto completions ever. I do everything with prompts. It's so much nicer.
It's getting in my way. It's getting in my way, people. Oh my
God. That's why I don't have autocompleter.
See, I don't like it. Right. Let's get rid of that.
I don't like it when this hammer hits my hand. Ow.
How dare they?
Please make that hammer stop.
Yeah.
Right. Let's just have it simple. That dot. Zoom scale. Zoom scale. Egypt.
Yes.
Right. And then we want, what do we want? We want everything in here actually as child. And then our transform in here.
I don't know how you cut and paste things and not have an unmatched number of parentheses or something. I just have the toughest stuff around like that. Must be years.
Oh, I see how he was trying to solve the so yeah, that's the other thing. That's probably.
Ew.
No.
Media query.
We'll show you what's wrong with this in a second.
Media query, please.
Let's just skip this.
Just don't.
Well, especially just the generic .of.
Yeah.
Right.
The
So,
of. Oh, yeah.
all right. So restart that. All right. So now, same thing. Yay. Right. Do you have a way of making? Let's make something pop up with a dialog, shall we? When we tap on it, let's have this tiles do that. This is really going to show dialog. Sure. Tests.
If you just do any drag here, wait, he's got to follow up here. It's not the title, it's the issues if you try to drag an element in the list to a new location, because transformation.
Yeah. But watch. It's the same thing with the dialogue. That's why I was using the dialogue. Look, watch.
Oh, okay.
Now look, it hasn't changed its size. The problem has been fixed. See this?
Oh.
So let me just. I should really show the problem before. Let's just. How can I? Wait a minute. Yeah. How? That's not fixed. Wait a minute. Wait. What? Oh no! I need to plus it. Yeah. Yeah. That's not fixed. Yeah. So what we're trying to do here is make it so that floating element is the same size as the ones that I'm trying to move. That's what we're going to show. That's what we're going to show you how to do. I'm also going to show you how to do it with an alert dialog as well. I'll show you the two problems here: content, text.
Hello.
Actions.
Hello.
Okay. Yeah.
Who knew one gist could lead to this much interaction?
Oh. There we go. Right. So restart. So tap on one. There's our dialogue. If I increase the size, tap on it. Our dialogue hasn't changed its size, right?
Oh no.
Okay.
What can you do? How can you fix this?
Now what we want to do is take out transform scale and this lovely thingamabob, and we take it all the way up to material app. Wrap that instead. Yeah, that is the scale. Yeah, that should be right. Vayunovag. Oh, but I'm an idiot. I copied the wrong thing. Copied the wrong thing. My bad. Idiot. Come back. I want the value listenable. Sorry, and that. So now we're going to put that above material app. There we go. And then we're going to go back down here and we're going to remove it from here. In this case, we're going to return child. In fact, we can just get rid of all that. Let's get rid of that. And center as well. Right. So with that in mind, yeah, that would be correct. So for those that I just performed like the cardinal sin here. So basically what's happening here is we're trying to look up the app state of this context. This context does not contain app state because this is the wrong widget. So to do this, you actually wrap it in a builder. So if you wrap in a builder, this means the context I'm going to be using sits inside this widget that we're in, and therefore we'll have to find it. Or we don't even have to look it up because the state is actually here. So let me just show you that I've wrapped in the builder. If I restart, it'll be fine. There you go. And it'll work just as fine. Right. There we go. And now let's do, where is it? I've lost. Yeah, so now I can do state. State, yeah. And then get rid of the builder. We don't need that because we have direct access. And then we're going to also do, where's my transform cell? Top right. Just, we'll see this in a second. I'm doing this. Right. So plus. See, everything zooms in. When I hit plus, so is the box zoomed in. But as you can see, it's off the screen, which is no good. But everything's scaling now properly, right? Together, because it's above the thing.
If you reorder an item, is it scaling correctly?
Yeah, it will. So this will now be the same scale, even if I make it smaller, right?
Yeah.
Problem solved. Ship it.
Offset. There's a problem there, but that's besides the point. I'm not trying to solve it right now. So, but obviously this doesn't work. This isn't the result that the person is looking for, right? So,
might be.
The question is, how can we apply this zoom scale to other things? Now, this whole thing with the box constraints is how they get an array away with the fact that, well, I'll show you. If I turn that off, actually, no, I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to undo this. I'll be back to how we had it. Come on. There we go. So let's put it back into the body, right? Yeah. Okay, so now we're back to this without our overlay working, right? It's too small. Now, the reason why these boxes, and I was looking at this, I was kind of curious. The reason why these boxes have been scaled, so the transform scale is scaling the paint. This constraint is actually scaling the view. So if I leave the scale like this and turn it off and leave the scale as 1, you'll see now when I hit plus, it actually gets smaller. This is the trick that they're doing to scale the view and feel like it scales, right? The actual scale, the actual way to do the scanning properly would be a fitted box, and apply a scale to the actual layout. There's other ways to apply that scale, but it's really a scale of you're trying to scale the layout as well as the you're trying to scale the layout as well as scanning the thing. And also, this is not the correct. You never use of. Just stop using of. It's always size of in this case, right? Because otherwise, you're that's why scanning the whole app. Is where they care deeply that the layout stays proportional to the accessibility. Yeah. No, this is totally get it. I totally get this. Anyway, so let's go back to
finish your point, though. Just to finish your point, why you're using size of instead of.
Yeah. So if you use media query of, you're listening to all of the fields of media query, but any one of them being changed, and there's quite a few in here somewhere.
Yep.
Maybe the time I'm trying to find media query data aspects. Yeah, all these different aspects. Hang on, let's go back there. So you listen to all of these things that you don't actually care about if they change or not, versus if you do size of, all you're listening to here is the size aspect, right? If that changes. So it's more performant, basically, especially when it comes to web stuff is very important because the media creator of will rebuild when your browser window size changes. So constantly rebuild and cause your entire app to rebuild because this is like top level, the entire screen. Right. Where were we at? So we want to scale. We want to scale the layout. Yeah, we want to scale the layout based on the zoom level, and we want to do that on all things, including the overlay. Now, the thing is, with the readable list view, you don't actually get to control the builder, do you? Let's have a look. Yeah. So we could try and do this with the overlay wrap, as I was suggesting, and see if that actually solves it in this particular use case. I mean, maybe the approach that you're using is probably there's a better way of doing it. But anyway, let's try this. Let's solve this problem that you have specifically. I'm not trying to redo your entire thing, right? So let's get that scale back in there. Oops, other way. All right, so this should be back to how you originally had it, lifting the state up and out. Cool, it is. Now, this transform.scale, you can actually also do that, in this case, with a fitted box. And you're going to achieve the same thing, because as you increase the size, he says, but the fit is set wrong. What's fit? Width. Fit width. Lie. Why you no work? Of course. Anyway, that's just, it's because the height's not being scaled as well. Anyway, that's another separate problem. Right. Where the hell was I? Yeah, doing the drag thing. So let's do that. So we'll wrap our readable list view in a overlay widget. And the children of an overlay widget are actually overlay entries. And then the builder for the overlay entry needs to return the widgets that you want on that layer. So this is kind of not children, it's initial entries. That's the one.
You could wrap the entire app in an interactive viewer, right? And then you could scale the whole thing easily.
So let's try this now. Oh, let's. Well, we're in a. Okay, so the problem now we've now got is you've got this single child scroll view, which shouldn't actually be in there. I don't know why you've got a single child scroll view. That's actually a bad thing. You don't want a list view inside a single child scroll view. That's not good. Right. So do that. And now drag and look, it's the same size. It's offset apparently, but it's the same size.
I think that's the orderable list, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's more about the fact that again, like the orderable list doesn't understand about the scale. So
but I think that's how it works though. When you select an item, it automatically pushes it over so that you know which one you're moving. It offsets the one that you're moving so that as you move it.
What, to the right?
Yeah.
No. Never seen that before. You didn't do it just a minute ago when I was doing it on 100%.
Oh, wait. It's moving it based on where you click. Yeah, what was it?
Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is that if I click and drag, that's normal 100%, right?
Yeah.
And then if we make it larger, it's now offset.
Yeah, definitely.
And the offsets seem to be based somewhat on where you were clicking, how far left or right.
Yeah, I'm just going to see if there's So what's happening right now is that when this builds the overlay, it's inserted into the overlay widget, which is correct. Therefore, it's getting scaled. But what that's not accounted for is the fact that the position is also needs to be scaled.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you're just going about this the wrong way.
Yeah.
There's certainly does make the items bigger. Right? You could scale the items and all of this goes away, right? I mean, let's just do that. I mean, let's just have a look at this. Let's go back. So where's our item builder? Card. Let's make a widget here, which is zoom scale child. It's trying. I don't know why it's built. Let's have a look. Zoom scale child. Okay, we don't have a child widget, but we can put that in there. Thanks. Thanks very much. That looks fine. So now if I zoom scale that child and pop that around card, and we're going to get rid of it from, what is this going on? Scale 1? Keep dragging the scale. keep dragged item at normal scale. That's not doing anything. A scale of 1 does nothing to anything. It doesn't override. It's because it's based off the previous scale. So you need, if you wanted to do that and actually change the scale like that, you would have to do the inverse scale. So it'd be, it's been applied. Right. Proxy. Oh, there is a proxy decorator. Hang on a minute. Oh, there you go. Dragged item. So yeah, you could just wrap that in a. Okay. Well, let's carry on here. Well, actually, let's move from here. I just wanted to try something actually. So we'll leave it back to normal. We'll wrap our readable list view in the zoom child, which is basically the same as this above, right? We're not actually changing anything there. We just basically made it into a widget to make things more readable. Let's restart. So this should still be the same, right? So I get plus, all the items grow, short. This moves around, and then we make it larger. It gets off. It's the wrong size. Yeah. Now if I wrap this in zoom scale child as well. There you go. Is that what you want? Looks like it. Oh, that's interesting. I guess that's the centering. It's also the centering, right? So
are those bleeding off to the right side without triggering overflow?
Yeah, well, it's first of all, it's an overlay widget, right? So that's interesting. It's basing it based off of where I'm touching. So touch in the middle, touch on the left, it pops over to the left. Touch on the right because the touch point is not being scaled correctly. So that's probably a bug in the. Yeah, if you wrapped it in an overlay, that would definitely solve that. What issues did we see with the overlay when I added that? Was there another issue? Forgotten already. Right. Anyway, the other way I was saying doing this is we don't care. The actual list view itself does not need to be scaled. It's the individual items that we're scaling, right? So they go zoom child scale. You don't need that one there, double scale. And what do we have here? All children must have a key. Yeah, put that up to the one above. Right. Try again. Plus. Oh. Yeah. This is what happens. So, because again, it's the fact that the scaling with this, the rendering. So
does the multiply at first or add first when you're doing a transformation problem?
I mean, this all just seems more complicated than it needs to be right now, right? So let's get rid of this decorator for a second out the mix. So we want to scale it. Let's do the scaling differently. And here's where we're coming back to, right? So where are we? So instead of doing any paint scaling, we don't need to do any of this, really. We want to do what was it? Media query. And I think we can override it in media query. Let's have a look. No. Media query? I forget. We're going to find out. So now I'm going to do media query of, right? Media. There you go. The whole point of this is that only the of is this context, which means only this builder is being rebuilt each time the of changes. I am actually looking at text scaler, so maybe we can say text scaler of. There we go. So we only care about it being rebuilt if we want to do that. Is it on copy with? Oh, because I need to get the whole data. I see. I need to get the whole data. Ignore me.
Yeah.
Right. And then child being passed that across. So let's see what this let's see what this does.
Yeah. Tiny. Goes all the way down to legalese size.
So I think that there's a question here around also the items, right? So you've got list tile. Let's get rid of list tile here for a second. Let's put I don't even need list tile. So need all for a second. Good. Padding. So you could do scaled padding or something like that. There's other ways of addressing this that would be better. Normally, just like providing an overall scale is not what you want to do. Let's do this. Let's just say right. So now, because I provided a proper padding rather than like the original, you're doing a list tile which is material styled, right? But here you'll see now the height of the items changes appropriately with the font size change, which is how you actually want, which is how the scale should be, right? Does that kind of do what you're trying to do now? Let's so click and drag just to explain that there's no weird. You're not trying to mess around with the painting scale. Now everything's correct. Yeah. So you could do a on this zoom scale child thing. You could also wrap up this value listener builder into like something a bit nicer. Oh, let me bring it up. Doing something like a zoom scale builder, and pop that in here. This is a pattern that's quite good as well. And then what we do is have a oh look, he even put it in for me. Isn't that nice? So this way, if you have something you're trying to work with the builder on, it becomes a lot simpler. And we can also have a child actually, right? Let's do that as well. In fact, with that, you can just do that. Do you know? Why not? Yeah. Right. Let's start trying. So now we've got a zoom scale builder, which not too dissimilar from what we've got. Right. Is there another? Did he reply back at all?
No, nothing further yet.
All right. Well, then we could move on to something else.
Yep.
Anyone curious about other things? I don't know.
Verde wants to know if you're going to continue with their code.
What was their code?
Your gist. Well, it was a gist that you had, actually.
Yeah. Go to the last entry in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a gist, is there? Okay.
Yeah. You must have started at some point.
Yeah, that's I'm okay, continue.
And I just saw the
time. This was you have to preserving scroll position. Oh yeah, from 4th of June.
Oh yeah. From a while ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's all right.
All right. And
got to follow up too. We have a follow up too. We do want the paint scale. It's a complex app. They wanted to recreate browser zoom, but even browser zoom
doesn't paint zoom. It doesn't do that.
It makes text bigger. and that'll reflow.
Well, it does. It puts a scale factor on everything, right? But that's not the same as painting it by. It still lays out the same sizes, right?
Anyway.
All right.
So relative items of sizes stay the same. Yeah. You can do that though, right? But I think you need to. It depends how you build your app. Hopefully, you have components. You have to head off now, do you, John?
Yeah. I'm gonna head out. We'll see you guys in a week.
All right, man.
Yep, we'll be here.
Right. Let me just do this dialogue thing, and then. So now with the larger sizes, the dialogue is also sized up, right? So this is the kind of thing that you might do, make a widget that takes your overall size, and then you can put it in various places. I'll post this code, and you can take a look at it. I think there's, I mean,
I understand the UI.
I appreciate what he's trying to do. I'm just trying to think if there's a nice way of doing that.
If you just grow everything, doesn't that mean you'll eventually end up with horizontal scroll bars because it's too wide to fit the rendered page? Scale everything. Sorry, scroll.
Good question.
It's. I'm trying to do the math. To me, doesn't make sense to take a fixed layout and make it bigger. The bigger's got to come from somewhere.
Yeah, well, no, exactly. Like that's why he was making that's why it's scaling down the constraints, right, to resolve that kind of thing on the width. But then the height becomes a whole. Yeah. I was need to see
something stream.
I'm gonna have to look into like the specifics of how the browser's doing it. But yeah, there's certain things in the browser that it depends on, like, see, the thing is, in the browser you make that with different units, and you lay out with things like M units and other scalable units that are different from non-scalable units. And when you do that resize, you're getting a different scaling applied, a different scaling mechanism applied. It's an interesting one. Be nice if there was like a cheat like that. If we do that, I have done something similar with a custom render object. I'm trying to think. If you to apply this, hang on, let's have a look. If you to apply this zoom child.
Here.
Yeah, but so yeah, it's a bit, yeah. Anyway, but were you trying to scale? You weren't trying to scale the. I think there's something we can do here. Hang on, what happens if I take my zoom scale child and stick it at the top? Right. So if we
wrap the whole app in an interactive viewer. That's it. Then you're done. And put some grow and shrink buttons on the outer layer.
Hang on.
Yep.
Right. He says, "Oh yeah, because I removed that."
I think this is a request that's ultimately coming from somebody who doesn't understand responsive layouts and only understands it in terms of what they can paint in Photoshop.
And so there you go. So is this what you're looking for? So now it zooms up. You see how the way it's zooming like a browser now? And then when I click and drag, the items works as normal, which is what I was doing in step one. But it wasn't clear that you wanted to look. Now if I click a dialogue, it's still zoomed in, and everything is zoomed appropriately as you were asking for. Is that what you want? Feels like it is, right? And you see the icons at the top remain the same size because they've. I don't know. I'm not. I suppose no. This is just changing the text size. if you were to change, let's go back down to our zoom chart here, and where's how we're applying that? Let's take that application. Where's the original one? I have the original. I'm kind of curious. What does the original one do in this situation? I think we'll move on to a different thing in a minute because I want to get hung up on one thing.
It's just that other Verde gist to do.
Yeah.
Nobody else has any questions.
If I can find. That's it. Transform scale, zoom scale, center, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's do that. I've got the center. Can make a difference. Right. I'll leave that one commented out. This application will be slightly different because now the icons will scale as well. I feel like I must be missing something. Oh, no, a minute. Swap with parent. No.
Oh, he's following up. Yes, it's not exactly everything we want, but I think you've explained the key points and I can get the rest. Yes, Randall is right.
Okay,
I think of the interface as a PDF, not a responsive layout. Yes, I knew it. I could call it. That's why I have a shortcut for the word pixel that says you don't want pixel perfect. You want responsive.
This is not. This is interesting.
Yeah.
Hang on. Aha.
Ooh.
That's what I want. So, yeah, and then your overlay. Although it changes its size, there's some interesting. The reason why that I think you found like you basically, by the way, you've identified a bug in the in the handling of can't click and drag for some reason. There we go. So when widgets determine when render objects that like look for their size and everything else, they're meant to resolve the points by going up the tree, in which case it goes through the transform.scale. What's happening here is that's not happening. The points are being not transformed. They're being not transformed through the tree. It's trying to just calculate based on pixel offsets, and they've got different scales. So I think what you found here is, you know, like my clicks are not being transformed correctly. Yeah, I think let's do height as well. There's a few different ways of doing this kind of stuff. I think you kind of reaching what's probably realistic. I mean, you found basically a bug, by the way, just to let you know, like this is not yeah. Yes, it's the touches are not getting. Well, that's yeah, because plus. Yeah, I mean, I'll leave both in there. and then I'll post this back as a reply on your gist, and then you can take it from there. But I think the text scale one is more like what you want to do, and then you can apply, as we were saying, you can apply the same scale factors to like other elements as you want them to scale. There's other ways of applying some sort of global scale, like as you said, like the corner radiuses, like you could apply a scale to them. But it's really about the units that you're using. Right, back to where we were. Where were we?
We got just Faraday's thing, the scroll thing. And there's no other questions.
We got some time. Cool.
There is one. There's a question. Maybe we can take the question first.
Sorry, go on. Go for it.
There we go. Is there a very simple way to implement a game level map using a list? Not very complicated. A list.
A game level map?
That'd be a map.
What? Is there a way to? Can you restate your question? Because I don't get that at all. A game level. Is there a comma missing here? A game. I don't even know what a game level map is in this situation. Like when I think of a game level map, I think of like a heads up display map that you can see stuff in. It makes no sense for a list. So, yeah, repost your question, maybe phrase it differently.
Yep.
I guess we'll crack on with some codes. So when was this? This was on 4th of June. This one.
70B.
I feel like we did some more since this feed repository. Let's have a look. 6. No, that was the latest one. All right, let's go from there then. All right, let's grab. They did say that right. Let me just... Yeah, 4th to 6th. Yeah. All right, let's start a new one.
716.
16.2. Grab that version and whilst that's running up, I'll post the other one. Zoom scale. I'm going to fork your original gist, Austin, and update the code.
We have Flutter app. Ooh, bright colors. Those wonderful accents.
What's today's show link? Why is it make public? How does one edit? Make public. All right, so the readable list stuff is up. Pop a little link in the chat for anyone that wants it. I copy. Right, back to this. I'm going to have to refamiliarize yourself with this. We were trying to do stuff where you hit play. I mean, it's working, right? Scroll past the end.
Infinitely scrolled off the beginning.
But new data comes in.
Yep.
And if I scroll down, it doesn't push me window down, right? Which was the whole point of this. What would you like to see, Ferdy? We could look at putting end stops in.
Be typing. There we go. Talked about the builder pattern.
Yeah, how are we doing this in here at the moment? We did
for the descendants, I believe.
Let's go on more to dig. I completely forgot how we did this. So, oh right, because we ended up laying it out ourselves, didn't we? Right, yeah. Right, and then we're having to. Okay, so basically, what's happening right now? Can we? There's two things here, right? We need to determine. Okay.
Well, there's a follow up to the map question. Do you want to see that?
Sure. Why not? Go on.
I haven't really got into this yet. It's a horizontal map featuring different levels that a player would progress through while playing a specific mobile game, gamified activity like Duolingo. Okay, I had it up until that part.
I still have no idea. Your original question about should I use a list? You can use a list wherever you want to have something that scrolls.
Use a data structure of some kind. Yes, I say put it in a data structure. That sounds like that's my always when you have data, put it in a structure. That's it. Right. That's what the consultants will tell you.
Okay, back to this. So it's a Verdi. Let's see what we get into. So let me explain what the problem is right now, what we're trying to achieve. So this works, right? There's some custom layout, and we decided to make our own render object. Well, we actually used a custom multi-shell layout with our own delegate. And we applied we have a scrollable, and we apply our dimensions around that to say it's infinite in size. That's why we can scroll off top and bottom. We could have this be applied based on the content as the content changes. So it's workable. The thing here is that we're choosing to lay out all the widgets based on we had like a origin post, which is essentially our post that the item that's up here at the top left. The idea being that when you scroll, it's always relative to that point, right? And we adjust the scroll position based off of that. So that way we never actually get pushed down when new content's been added in, because that doesn't adjust the origin post. Yeah. Right. So, and at the moment, what's happening right now is every one of these widgets is being constructed and being placed, which is the problem. And that's what we're talking about, the builder pattern, right? At the moment, we do this for loop, and every one of them gets a layout ID and gets put on the screen. Well, ideally, we only want to lay out and display the things that we want on screen. This is kind of where slivers comes in. And I'm just thinking to myself, can we convert this delegate here into a layout delegate for slivers? So that way we could then just use a standard viewport widget. Let's see what's involved in doing that. So we have a scrollable. We use the viewport key to get the size, I think, don't we? Why are we using the viewport key? I'll ask us to work out the render objects inside. Sure. So let's do this. Let's do a viewport widget. So the viewport widget is literally the best way of describing it is box to slivers, right? And its job is to have a viewport into a larger piece of content, and there's the slivers that you want to post. Now we could do what this is suggesting, which is I'll make a sliver for every single one, but that puts us in the same situation we are before, which is now we're constructing widgets, still constructing the widgets. They may not be the difference with this. There's a difference here. Let's be clear. When the tree is built, this bottom one will build and construct all the elements, and it will construct all of the render objects for all these postcards in the layout, no matter if they're on screen or not, right? Where the sliver one we construct the widgets. However, when it comes to actually presenting them on the screen, it will only build the elements and render objects for what's visible on the screen, if I remember rightly. I feel like I should not be quite on that. Maybe we should test that. Now, what we can do anyway is a sliver lists, and that wants a delegate. I'm wondering, can we build our own delegate for sliver list? Let's go take a look. Sliver child delegate. What is a sliver child delegate? So sliver child build a delegate. So quick look through. Build. So this is already being given an index, repaint boundary, all that lovely stuff, fun stuff. Yeah, so this is really high level. It's what we need, which is a shame. Let's have a multi-box adapter widget. It's kind of what we're going to. Let's see what we need to do to make one of these sliver multi-box adapter widgets then.
Yeah.
There's an adapter element. So a quick look.
I was thinking this sort of has to be a solved problem for a lot.
Oh, yeah. Okay, this is going to keep track of all the lovely elements. Oops, too far. All right, this one. No, put it down. So it should be a render object around here somewhere. Render sliver list. Render sliver multi-box adapter. Okay. So this works out our scroll offset. The thing is, all of this whole thing is all based around that scroll offset. Would that be a problem? No, I don't think it would actually, saying that. Let's go back. Although we have position in our scroll offset in the viewport, how are we actually using that? Let's have a look. So we get the pixels, has pixels, yeah. So actually this should be doable. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So let's switch out. Let's switch out our custom multi layout and delegate for a viewport and sliver list and see what happens. No, not sliver list, a custom one. So we'll call this sliver list scroll multi. Whatever
Child.
what the hell are we calling this thing? News post list. I don't know. Let's call it sliver.
Scroll delegate.
No, it's not delegate. It's naming's hard.
Sliver list thingy.
Sliver list with persisted position. There, though. Sure. Extends.
Yeah. Why not?
What was it called? A multi.
Child
whatever the hell it is. Let's go have a look. It was over here.
Multi-child sliver rotation.
Right to it. Sliver multi-box adapter widget. There you go. There's a mouthful. Right.
Still not the longest class name in the SDK.
Yeah.
I posted that one day, the one I found.
There might even be a longer now. You never know.
Oh, that's true. I got to do that search again.
Oh, that's interesting. So this requires a delegate. That's okay. We'll have a builder delegate. Problem solved there. Okay, yeah. So let's do that. Okay, that's fine. So render object. So we're going to need. What do we need? We need.
I'm just as excited as concerned.
All right. So we don't care about position because we're going to get the information. The only thing we actually care about is origin post, I would assume. I don't remember how we use an origin post. In post index of origin post is all we care about, the origin index. That's interesting. Actually, we can use a normal builder for this, can we?
I don't know.
I think we might, that, because we get to build the index, and all we need to do is offset one to the other. This might work. That'd be really cool. Does this work? Let's find out if this works. If this works, this would be awesome because I don't have to do a bunch of code. Right. Sliver builder, child builder. We could, yeah, this should work. And what we're saying here is saying that post index equals this, whatever this is, right? Where's our origin post? There it is. Origin posts. Widget posts. Sure, this is. So I have origin index and then origin plus index. Let's not put a child count on there. And instead, if it's out of range, yeah, okay. So do this. So this would be index. This would be plus index. Thank you. It read my mind. No, it actually did not. That's wrong.
It misread your mind.
It misread my mind. How dare it misread my mind? Right. And then we want a key.
That's psychotic. That's psychotic, not psychic.
All right. I think that about does it. Let's take that whole thing. Oops. And replace all of this with that. We'll see what happens. It can only break. Okay, that's a good start. It laid out.
It laid out. Yeah, we
didn't have. It scrolls. This is good.
Scrolls. It doesn't scroll down. Oh no.
No, that's correct. It reaches limit. Oh, that's interesting.
Does the over limit bar? Nice.
Yeah, but it's reaching the limit before it should. Huh. I know why. Because our slivers don't.
Sliv?
No, it's more about. Okay.
Hang
on. Let me think about this. Okay, so what's happening right now is the number of widgets that come out here are set in the content height. The content height itself needs to be based off of what's actually not being built. Right? Because the whole idea of doing this index offset means we're going to negative numbers. Damn. I was hoping I'm going to get away with that. If I hit plus, like it's not going to scroll down because it's based off of this. The problem is I can't scroll it, and the infinite bounds are not being set right. I could actually still do that. Saying that, let's have a look. Let's just see if I create. Where's our scroll controller? Where's our scroll controller? Okay. So we're using a normal scroll controller.
There.
So if we, I'm going to just throw this in there because I want to see what happens. If we do a no scroll controller. Let's call it infinite scroll controller. Okay. Can it read my mind again? Hey, it can. So that's actually the code I wanted to write. I've written it tons of times. So it's nice and handy, I guess. Right, so we're going to chuck that in here. Basically, what we're doing here is overriding the scroll extents. So now we can scroll past the bounds. So this should act. Yeah, so now I scroll down. It's still adding items to the top of the list. If I scroll back up, let's see. See, the thing is, this is effectively the 0 point. So it doesn't want to lay out anything above that point. I actually solved this before with so actually it's actually a package on Pub. I made like an infinite scroll list package. I don't think it's going to do what we want it to do though. I feel like we're just hacking away at the platform now. I think let's go back to my original concept, which was do it properly. So let's make this happen as it should do. So we'll leave the infinite scroll controller in there. It's a nice little let me just chuck it in the bottom out of the way. Right, back to where we were. So sliver list with persisted position. We want to create a render sliver list with persisted position, sure. And child manager. Render sliverbox child manager. Create child. Index after. Remove child. Estimate max scroll offset. I want to see what implements this. Where is code?
I see child manager, and I'm thinking of a 6-year-old standing behind the counter of a Burger King running the show.
Okay, I was interested. Hang on. Render sliverbox multi-box adapter objects reify their children lazily to avoid spending reasons on children that are not visible on the viewport. Exactly what we're looking for. This delegate uses objects to create and remove children, as well as estimate the total scroll offset extent occupied by the full child list.
Ooh, that's handy.
So apparently the only implementer of this is the multi-box adapter element stuff. And basically that's what I was saying before. It's basically what we were trying to do with when we tried to do this last week, it was the idea of like actually having it build the widgets on the fly and attach the elements. So that is actually what's taking place here. Let's go back and find the widget. So this is the element. Sliver child manager. So I'm quick gander through this. So updates cool when this widget updates. So this is switching out the delegate and then performing a rebuild. The perform rebuild is the magical piece here, right? So this is going through all the child elements, working out should they still be visible. So what is that? Yeah, so it goes through all the child elements and works out their layout position. There should be a point here basically saying remove the ones that should get removed, add new ones for add new ones. This is like new children for each one process element. So where was new children being added to? Ah, there we go. Okay. Am I? What would happen if we implement this? That is a good question. Let's implement it and see what happens. Where is it? It's on here, isn't it?
It's not sealed. It's not a base class. You should be able to implement it.
So the callback tells it how to keep track of the children when they move around, actually. So I have a feeling this might be exactly what I want to keep the scroll position. What am I doing? It's key. And then we treat it as a value. It's a value key, isn't it? A value key of string, which has a value. So we'll say it's widget. So if we were to take our origin post, index our origin post, as an index start point, I'm losing widgets. Oh, how about that? It's actually working. Oh, no, it didn't.
Almost.
No. Oh, I thought it was close.
Yeah, you should install Gemini CLI and ask it, how the hell do I make this work?
I was going to try and do magical things that it's not supposed to do. Right. Yeah, let's carry on what we're doing.
Yeah. We actually have a question not related to this if you want to tackle a question.
Sure.
Okay.
Sorry, in the mix.
Probably a whole 20 minutes at least on its own as well. How do I implement a background service in Flutter? Android and Windows.
Android or Windows, or Android and Windows? I'm assuming Android and Windows. They're different. There you go. That's the answer. There's packages, so it all has to be done. There's no Flutter itself doesn't know understand how the operating system works with these things. So there's packages on pub.dev for this, right? When it comes to Android, it's more important about background services. When it comes to Windows, your app's just running all the time. So don't show your UI. There you go. So when it comes to Android, there's specific requirements the operating system has to keep the app running because of battery power on a mobile device. So there's a great package called Work Manager. I think there's a background service one as well. If you want to implement your own background service, which Flutter background service, I think is the package.
Flutter background service has doesn't have Windows, but it has iOS.
No, but that's my point. So the Windows, you don't need it. That's why it doesn't matter. Right? So you would have inside your code, you do platform is Windows, then do this. Otherwise, is Android. Use Flutter background service. There you go. I think that kind of covers it. I mean, with Windows, you would use the Win32 package or other package to control the window, hide the window, and when you go to the background, and then show the window when it's back in the foreground, or whatever you want, right? So normally, so for those that don't, I mean, this is more about like, cool, blimey, I'm going to track down my knowledge here. So what you're looking for is this. I just Googled it. And see if I can find. Okay, there is. So on the Win32 package, you'll find this lovely function called shell notify icon. So what this is doing is down here in the bottom corner of your screen, you'll have icons. So if you want to put your app in the background and appear down there, you call this function shell notify icon. And the notify icon data is a structure that tells it like what icon to show. And it's all about Windows development, this is. But you can do it, like, and then you have to fill out these strings, obviously the tooltip string and pop-up string and the various other flags and parameters you can set in these fields. And this is described by the standard Win32 docs. There's also some here apparently. So yeah, so you want to add it to the bottom screen, you want to delete the icon from the status bar, you run that command, and so on. And this tells you what parameters need to be set to what to make it do what you want it to do. So I'll post these two links. That's how you can kind of like have it run in the background Windows. I don't know if there's a pub package that does this for you, but I'll pop these in the chat. Well, they're the APIs that you're looking for. There's an MSDN page for shell notify icon, but that's how you communicate with the icons on the bottom screen. So the idea behind that, and then you have your window handle for your Flutter app when you run it on desktop, and you just do show window, hide window. So we show window with it set to false or whatever. So the idea is that when you tap on the icon on the bottom screen, it shows the window. When you tap on it again, it can hide the window. You can choose however you want to program it. But the idea is your app is still running. It's just not a window on the screen. It doesn't appear on the status bar, right? On the taskbar on Windows. Right. Is there anything else we want to talk about?
We've got one more question. This is more of a opinion question. What do you think about Kotlin Compose and Dart's Flutter's way of rendering UI and performance? That could be a whole 3 hours. I mean, what you've got to narrow the question down a little.
I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen Kotlin's most recent stuff, but as far as I'm aware, the Android is Kotlin Compose different to the way Android Compose works? Is this their own thing? Is this from Kotlin multi-platform? I've not even tried Kotlin multi-platform, so yeah, I need to find some time. I can do that, but to be honest, the way that I've seen Flutter doing it is really performant. I can't think of a more performant way of doing the UIs. So I'll take that as whatever you want. Right, where was I? Sliver list. Multi-box adapter. Is this just doing element? Probably is. Yeah, element. Okay. Yeah, cool. Copy that. Replace move children. Interesting. Right. What's this? Yeah, sure. Right. So if we drop that in as a replacement for that, our delegate doesn't change.
We got one more question from, I think, the same source here. Yeah.
Go for it.
In Flutter Windows app, I'm using Flutter RiverPod with timer, which continuously running, but when the app is not focused, it gets stuck and resumes automatically when focused. And is it a RiverPod problem or a Flutter problem? Is it due to the ticker? Yeah, I guess when your windows aren't visible, the tickers aren't running, right?
Yeah. So go back to go back to the one timer, which I'm using Flutter Riverpod with timer. What, a normal timer in Dart? An app is not focus. I'll start using focus is running. Huh.
Yeah, I presume the tickers don't run. There's optimization.
No, well, yeah, but it's the ticker, the UI tickers don't run, but the timer. I don't know what he means by with timer. If he just means a normal timer object, which is a Dart thing, or if he means something specific. Okay, yeah. So he's saying it's ticker mode is off in the change logs. Yes, but that's only if you're using a ticker. I don't think is there like a particular thing to automatically refresh in Riverpod that use ticks? I don't know.
I've never needed anything like that. But if you have like a timer or periodic stream or whatever, it seems to run just fine. Waking up at the right time. But I guess it's because I have something that's in the UI that's watching the provider. So therefore it's keeping it alive. It's keeping it ticking and not paused. I know there's been some changes for Riverpod 3, and I think that's what the caller's referring to here. In that it's supposed to now be shut down more easily. If nobody's observing it, it shouldn't be running things in the background. And that's the new philosophy.
I'm guessing that's something that they put in Riverpod. Don't use that feature of Riverpod for ticker mode.
Yep.
I mean, Dart timers will continue to operate. Your process does not shut down when it goes into the background. It's not how it works. Unless I did something in Flutter that is new. I haven't looked at it recently, but no reason why it shouldn't. Right. Back to this. Verdi's like desperate for an answer.
It's nearly the top of the hour, and I probably should have a hard out at the top of the hour.
Yeah, I need to dash as well. Let's see if we get a bit further with this. I think we'll continue this
next week.
Keeps trying to promise another stream, but we just don't seem to find the time. We'll continue definitely next week, and we'll try and continue early on the stream. We're just going to do this. This will be, I think, we'll have a guest on next week. It's already planned. But after that, we'll just jump straight into this and do this. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
But let's see where we can get to here. I could also post this if you want to continue with this, Vernon, try stuff out. So basically, right now, what we're trying to do is work out what this perform layout is going to be, and that's all we need to do here, right? So what I'm just trying to work out is how we can know which widgets to choose. Child scroll offset. That garbage. Insert and layout leading child.
Verdi has nice things to say there. Oh, sorry, that's me. That's not what I wanted. How did it get slid forward? Stupid interface. Learning quite a lot from this. Really appreciate it, says Verdi.
Index of first child.
This whole sequence is making me think that I need to spend more time learning about slivers.
I would suggest people, if you want to learn about slivers, use Sliver Layout Builder. Sliver Layout Builder is a nice way of getting into slivers because you get to basically fit around in the box layout, but with slivers. So the way you do that is you can use a custom scroll view or a viewport like this for slivers. And then as one of the slivers, you can just do Sliver Layout Builder. And this would be sliver constraints instead of box constraints, basically. Oops. And then inside here, the expectation is that you return a. This is a cheap mat. By the way, this is like a in fact, I'll put this at the top, and I'm going to just. Oops. What have I done? Too many. There we go.
You got a lot of red there.
So what I want to do is comment this out just for now. If I put a sliver list in below, actually, we'll just do this. I'll show everyone what you kind of quickly do, and then we'll call it, and then we'll carry on next week. So sliver child ability, I'll just call this a sliver list. Let's just I just want some content on the screen so I can show how it works. All right, so that should give some context, right? So this sliver layout builder above, we're going to have a quick play around with this. So sliver to box adapter, child size box, and we'll do a card. Colors black because that's obvious. And we'll do height. So what's really nice about this is now we have constraints. We can actually look at these constraints that come in. This gives us things, all the various different parameters like that allow you to determine how much you've scrolled, are you overlapped with another thing, how much do you want to use. You can't adjust what's called the geometry, which is a second part of slivers, which is so the way that you have a okay. So layout algorithms have it's a render box layout algorithm, which is the standard one that everyone's used to. That is box constraints come in, and the result of the box constraint is a size. When it comes to slivers, sliver constraints come in, and sliver geometry goes out, right, instead of size. So there's actually a thing called sliver geometry. And that's the output of what a sliver, how big a sliver is, and what it's taken up. So this tells you how much paint is taken up, how much scroll extent is taken up. So you can have something that doesn't take up any space on scrolling of the view, but takes up space on the screen painting. You have something that takes up there's all sorts of like ways that you can like get around this. But anyway, let me show you this. So what we're going to do maybe is say let's do this. Probably should be overlap here. Yes, overlap, and then do math dot. I don't know. So overlap at the moment is be how much it's overlapped by on the outside. That's interesting. Is that because we've got? No, that should work. 100. Okay, there's our 100. And hey, here we go. Let's do this. 300. It's going to be something really stupid here, right? So there's 300. And then what I'm going to do is have a child align. I'm trying to think of like a silly little thing I can do that's quick and simple, but there's a lot you can do. Placeholder. So let's just see what that looks like. That looks like that. Let's make the color white on there just so we can see it nicer. There we go. And I think depending on the color. Because there's our box. Then what I'm going to do is place this in a column with a size box above it of height, overlap. Yeah. Actually, probably don't need that line saying that. Yeah, probably need a max Import math. Import math.
Or math is math.
Math is mathing.
Word is science sometimes.
I was thinking we could change the height of this. Let's actually, maybe that works better. Let's do this. Get rid of the column. Huh. Well, it would work if I knew what I was doing. I think the problem here is I got infinite scroll. Let me turn off the infinite scroll stuff. The error in my code. Okay, so I reached the top and I can scroll. Good. Okay. This is interesting because that's not what I was expecting. I will be quickly and brief in and we'll carry on. I'm just going to do this. This is give myself that's a good question. Why is that black?
Dash ready for the exit music.
Come on. Oh. Why is nothing ever simple? Because the height's now changed. Oh yeah. Of course. Sorry, bear with the bottom. There we go, 0, and make that expanded. Okay, so apparently it's always 0. Let's see what other options we have. It should be there we go. Okay, fine. We'll use scroll offset then. Yeah. I don't know why it's not. I think the app bar. What's going on there with the app bar? But anyway. Actually, no, it's this. It's the text. And then the padding, because I've sent 300 there. That size box is in the wrong place. It should be right here. Right with size box 300. That's right. Try that again. So there we go. We have a box, right?
Yes.
No. Do you see that? As people can see that kind of effect. So the box itself is actually going off the screen, right? So if I put a sliver padding in here, let's see it. Sliver padding. Sets. So see the box is moving. So make it even bigger. Yeah, kind of obvious. So the box moves up, just like we do. Normally nothing's changed, but when the sliver reaches, once the slice of the scroll view, the sliver reaches the edge, the contents of the panel. So the black panel is actually larger, right? So it's going off the screen, but the contents I'm changing the size of it based on scroll offset, meaning that this box is getting squished and aligned to the bottom. See that? So you can imagine one of these, like a good example, maybe a header on a list view that kind of persists and changes its size. So to do something that stays on the screen like a persistent sliver, you need to for it to come back. You seem like for it to scroll. Apparently, I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, but yeah, there's a bunch of fun things you can do. I'm gonna. That's really interesting. I don't know how I've done that. But we've done that apparently.
Is it snapping?
But yeah, you can return back slivers from here, which means you can do a bunch of stuff with other slivers, like sliver main axis group, cross axis group, sliver padding, adjusting stuff with that. But yeah, so sliver layout builder is the key widget that you want to use. Right. I am going to post this code and I'm going to call it because we're running over and I've got lots to do.
I do too. I'm now a busy person. I thought I had more spare time, but my spare time just went away.
As it does. Time just vanishes.
Yes. It's like you can't have a hard disk that's not 90% or greater full.
Oh, you can't have. Here's another one for you. The more monitors you get, you cannot go back to less. I'm telling you. You get 2 monitors, you can never go back to 1. You get 3 monitors, you never go back to 2.
Yeah.
It's a rule.
Well, I went from a 16-inch down to a 13-inch for a couple of years, and that was just way too small. And then I had to go back to we got my 17, which I'm really happy with. Luckily, it barely fits into my computer bag that I've had for all these years, but at least it fits.
Right. That. Do you know what I'm going to do? What was the previous gist? We had the previous gist around here somewhere, didn't we?
It's in the.
What was the date? Do you remember what the date was?
No, you said it in the stream, but I don't remember that it got typed.
It was 4th of the 6th. 4th to 6th. Preserve scroll position. I'm going to fork it. Oh, you can't fork your own gist. Are you kidding me?
What?
Stupid.
Can you fork your own projects? Maybe it's the same as that, right?
I'm just going to link it to the other one. Apparently, you can't fork your. I think you can fork your own projects. Like you can make a clone of it, right? Surely.
Maybe.
Just post the damn thing, right?
I mean, it's a Microsoft product. What do you expect?
Right. What's this date? Today's date is the 16th.
Yes.
Of July.
7/16.
Reserve scroll position continued. Part 2. This is part
2. Part 2 of 7.
Part 2. Also see this one. That previous gist. There we go. If I was to I could put over the last one, but then most people would miss the history of the gist, and the other one has context of its own that doesn't contain this code. So I think this is the right way of doing this. Oh, the right code, yeah. Right. Create public gist. Boom. Code is coming its way to the chat. There we go. Babosh. Well, hopefully, yeah, I could version the other one, but it's not the same. So hopefully that's good enough. Right. Thanks everyone for joining us. And we'll be back same time, same place next week. And hopefully we'll
see you then.
Yeah, we'll see you then. All right. Bye.
Bye.